What is up, all of you awesome and amazing people on YouTube? The old Coot here, coming at you with another exciting video. Okay, so after consulting a couple of experts, meaning my roommate, I decided to consult with the expert and see what the roommate said. Okay, so the roommate said if you're on the like floral, flowery kind of side and you want to pair two of these together, the Ramazzotti and the Don Benedictine would be the two. So this with this together would be a good combination. So let's test that theory. So I'm going to take the Don Benedictine. I'm going to mix it with the Ramazzotti Aperitivo Rosato. Just literally, we're doing this ghetto style. Let's see how this one tastes. That's good. That's good. So that's got more of that rose petal, that hibiscus. Now you bring in a little bit of the orange note and just a touch of bitter. This has like just a touch of bitter mixed with the touch of bitter that's in here, the flowery and the sweet. It's like sweet and bitter at the same time. It's kind of hard to describe. So that was a good combination. Now, the other thing my roommate and I discussed, or kind of talked about was, so if you like a more, let's say you're like in between, right? You're maybe on the flowery fruity side, but you want something with just a little more manliness. Take this, the Gran Classico, mix it with the Italicus. So let's try that. Let's see how that tastes. We're just literally ghetto style. We're just doing it like this because that's how I roll. Okay, so let's see what this one now tastes like. That's good. Very bergamot-y. So very bergamot-y. And then this kind of gives it a little bit of complexity. So obviously, you're going to have to experiment, right? Mix this with that. What ratios? 1 part or 1/4 part. Like, 3/4 of an ounce, 1 ounce. How many grams? How many milliliters or whatever. You're going to have to experiment. I think either way, in any of those, the Saint Germain is going to work well. So let's test that theory out. So I'm going to take some of the Saint Germain, put it into this one, and then also put it into this one, because that's how I roll. So let's see how this one tastes now with the Saint Germain. That's good. It's good. It's got some brightness. It's got the elderberry action going on. It kind of has like that ness about it. Let me try this one now. See how this one tasted. Yep. Bergamot has a little more of that like fruity kind of lychee, right? Pear kind of action going on, right? Kind of action. So yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. Very nice. Very pleasant, I have to say. So let me rearrange these the way they were. So these, if I move this one over, right? Follow the queen. Follow the moving queen. Let's move this one over. Let's do this. Did I do this correctly? Comment down below in the comment section anyway. I got lost. Okay, here we go. Okay, that looks about right. Yeah. Okay. So this is how I would kind of rearrange these if it were up to me. So if you saw the previous video, you kind of saw me talk about the different, like what was the key, like the punchy keynotes of each of these. Just to quickly recap, this is the Ramazzotti Aperitivo Rosato. This one had a very nice hibiscus smell to it. And then on the palate, ironically, I got like rose water kind of vibe. It's like a nice, low, light, sweet, refreshing kind of a ness. Like this on its own would just be great, would just be fantastic. This with some, San Pellegrino, great combination going on there. And then the taste got like complex, like the more and more it just sat like after you sip that first sip. Okay, this one is the Don Benedictine, right? This one, the smell off the bat was kind of like a hard one to find. Like it didn't punch you like as being orangey or whatever. But when I tasted it, then I got the taste of the orange. And like there's just a very, like as it sits on the palate after you sip it, then it gets bitter at the end. which is kind of ironic because usually most of the bitters that I have, most of the Amati, right, or the Italian Amaro beverages, usually the bitterness comes to the forefront. But this one kind of had that ness going on about it. Okay, so then this one, this is the Gran Classico. This is from Tempest Fuji. This is a product of Switzerland, which is great. I thought this was Italian originally until I actually bought it, and then I realized it's from Switzerland. But this one, the same thing. When I smelled it out of the bottle, like it didn't really have a nose of any one particular thing. It was kind of like this blend of different things that I couldn't quite pinpoint what was in there. But the first sip was, it had like a little light cola to it. So if you're looking in that realm of like Cynar 70, Amaro di Tuscana, this would be a good kind of, older brother, younger brother kind of a pairing, right? Okay, then the Italicus, right? The reason why I bought this was because of the bergamot. I have an affinity for it. It's a great smell. It's a great taste now, obviously, too. This one smelled like the bergamot right out of the bottle, and then it also tasted like the bergamot right out of the bottle. So that's the punch that you get from the Italicus. Very nice. It's got just like a touch of bitterness to it, but we're talking like 5 or 10% of what like this would be, or what this would be, or like Aperol. It's just a very subtle bitter. So if you're, we'll get into that in a second, but here's the Saint Germain. So the Saint Germain is the elderberry, right? The primary ingredient. It's funny because smelling this out of the bottle, it smelled like debrined capers. Like that's kind of the note that I was getting, but it didn't taste like that at all, which is so strange to me. The taste is very much like elderberry. It's very much like a pear or like a lychee. That's how I would describe it. So here's kind of something that I kind of wanted to do that I should have done, was to combine this one with this one and this one and see how that tasted. But I did put the Saint Germain into this combination, and I also put the Saint Germain into this combination. So, and it just kind of gave it just a little extra like fruity pear lychee kind of a touch to these two beverages together. But if I was going to do this again, like in another video, maybe, or who knows, I might even do it in this one. What I would try to do is maybe combine this with this, just those three on its own. And I think I can probably still do that. So using this glass, if I put some of this in there and then I mixed it with this, now everybody's in the same jacuzzi, literally and figuratively. This is all of these in one glass. Let me give it a quick sniff. Oh, that is so nice. The smell is just so... Okay, wait. Let me talk about the smell before I forget. So the smell kind of smells like the Saint Germain because I was using probably that glass. That's probably why it has that predominant smell to it. But I'm getting a lot of that like fruitiness. I'm getting a lot of like the pear smell and the lychee smell. It's like a sweet smell that sweetly smells sweet. Say that 100 times fast. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and give it a taste. Delicious. Oh my God, it's delicious. Now I'm getting like kind of like a kiwi, like a very light kiwi flavor out of it. So when you mix and match all these together into one, if there could only be one to rule them all, but they all had like, something going on. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to get banned on YouTube. Oh yeah. That's good. Oh my God, that's good. Yeah. That is like a lychee, kiwi, pear, elderberry surprise with like just notes of orange and notes of cola and like notes of like rose. And notes of hibiscus. Oh my God, it's so good. This to me may become my next favorite cocktail. So I would say maybe equal parts of everything. Knock yourself out. That's going to be one alcoholic drink right there. And then mix it down with some club soda, San Pellegrino, bubble water, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I'm the old coot. This is all starting to hit me now, figuratively and literally, but what a combination. That's the moneymaker right there. That's what I'm going to call it, is the money maker. I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. I'm going to call it Sweet Springtime. That's what I'm going to call it. I have no idea if there's another drink that's called that, but that's what I'm calling it. So if anybody ever questions where the origin of the Sweet Springtime came from, it's Ramazzotti, Aperitivo Rosato, it's Dom Benedictine, it's Gran Classico Bitter from Tempest Fugit Spirits, it's Italicus, and it's Saint Germain mixed with some San Pellegrino. That is the Sweet Springtime, because that's exactly what it tastes like to me. It tastes like walking through a field of flowers with a golden sunlight and just this blossoming of fruits and berries and just, oh, it's so damn good. Anyways, I am the Old Coot, and I'll catch you all in the next exciting video.